people have this notion that if you really want to go to college in this country, you can. And I have met so many people with so many obstacles. I really believe that talent is evenly divided among all people, but opportunity is not. Well, about 28 years ago, my daughter, Shanley, who was a junior in high school, came to me, and she had a friend who was living from one couch to another. He couldn't live at home. And they were in math class together, and she came to me and said, Mom, he's really great in computers, and he really wants to go to college. So I told him you'd get him into college. And I figured it out, even though I hadn't practiced on my own children yet. And not too long after that, I was stopped in the grocery store by two other students who said, "Are you the lady that got him into college?" And I said, "Yes, and would you get us in?" And they were both living in a homeless shelter. I was a corporate executive, and for 8 years, I kept getting students from that homeless shelter into college, and realized I was never happier than when I was getting people into college. And at that point, I quit my job and started On Point for College. Because they've kind of gone through that. They've lived on their own, and they've gotten that Yahoo stage out of them. They know they're going nowhere, so they tend to be very, very focused.
So I got a bachelor's in sociology, minor in African American studies, Master of Science, Community Economic Development from Southern New Hampshire University, and Doctorate of Education in Executive Leadership from St. John Fisher College. On Point has been a part of my life for a long time. I was actually one of the first students in the program, first to graduate, and it's always ignited the passion and the fuel for me to encourage and promote education.
They were the access to the information that we couldn't get anywhere else, so that's what On Point was for me. My name is Deanna McKinney, that's my maiden name. My stage name is Ming Deanna, that's kind of what I go by now, just because of my career path. And I went to Long Island University, Brooklyn campus. I graduated in 2009. My emphasis was in speech pathology communication studies with a minor in dance. And which later, subsequently, I went back to school for nursing, which was at St. Joseph College of Nursing.
I'm a graduate of SUNY OCC. I have an associate in human services, and I graduated from there in 2006. I have a bachelor's in political science from SUNY Oswego, class of 2013, and I just completed my master's degree at SUNY Empire. I have a master's in social and public policy, just fresh off the press this December.
Once I started On Point, I was on my own for a year and a half. I was getting swamped with kids at Southwest. I couldn't even keep up with it. And one of them said, "Hey, there's this guy downstairs that's working with the jobs program who used to work at OCC. He knows how to do financial aid for him." So I went down and I met Sam, who had worked, 11 or 13 years for OCC and knew far more than I did about college access.
I joined On Point officially in January of 2001. But unofficially, I want to say it was probably around August of 2000. A gentleman had come to Southwest Community Center where Jenny was one of Jenny's sites, and he needed some help with some financial aid. So he, in turn, when Jenny did get there, he said to Jenny, from what I hear, is that, "Oh, I'm okay now. This guy downstairs helped me out." And Jenny was like, "Somebody else knows how to do financial aid. Can you introduce me to him?" She told me a little bit about, what she was doing upstairs with students, and asked if I would be interested in helping her out from time to time. And so I actually started out, I think around August of 2000, as a volunteer, just kind of helping Jenny when she got, overloaded with students and helping them navigate that.
My name is Tamika Barnett. I went to St. Bonaventure University and I have my Bachelor of Business Administration. People really can't go towards what they don't know about. And if you are the first generation of kids going to college or trying to get to college, you don't really have a bunch of people within your household, like your family members or your parents, showing you, because they don't know about the financial aid and what resources are out there. So I think one of the biggest pieces is access to knowledge and how-to and resources, access to resources.
College is a community effort. And I think a lot of people are missing those supports, the people to encourage, people they see graduating from school, and people to lend them the mental support, or even, practical support, basic need supports to get through school.
Always encourage young men I work with and even mentor or keep in touch with now, even my siblings, brothers, whoever. If school is not for you, you still educate yourself on something. So whether it's a trade or an occupation or something you're passionate about, have a direct interest in. And a lot of that stemmed from me knowing and understanding Jenny's story of starting On Point. And it was from there that I had a high regard and respect for dedication and commitment.
The wonderful thing that I know about this program is we didn't build, and Jenny in particular, didn't build a program to fit students into a box, but we build a program around each student.
My name is Dakir Thompson. I just graduated from Lemoyne College with a general science degree. And before that, I went to Morrisville State College, where I graduated with an associate in applied science. In middle school, when people were talking about college, I never had that conversation. So it was like, I immediately thought, I'm not going to college. I can't go to college. I used to see, that one black guy in the movies, at the college parties, and I was like, there's no way I can be that one guy that gets to go. A lot of people don't see anything beyond what they're around all day. So that is the real hindrance, how people really see themselves and where they can go.
My name is Lillian Turner. I went to 3 different colleges, actually. My first college that On Point helped me with was Colgate University. I graduated in 2006 with a double major in history and education. Then I started working on my bachelor's in nursing through Excelsior College, the online university, and I actually just finished my BSN in December of 2017. And I am still in school. I am working towards my master's in nursing education, and I intend to be a nurse educator / scholar / policy changer, and I will rule the world, basically.
I think that my life has been impacted by On Point because beforehand, I never really saw myself going to college. I had a specific narrative in my mind of not thinking that I wasn't living like an extremely dangerous life. I don't want to put it like that, but I just didn't have a vision for my life. And so when you don't have a vision for your life, you just sort of stumble through. When I became involved with On Point, it was sort of like a glimpse of the future, of me changing my own narrative about myself and understanding that wherever direction I want to go in life is where I can go. I just need to just buckle down and do it.
I just want these young people to see that education is a key. It's an opportunity to opening up all the things you want to do, all the things you want to be. Anything that you believe is possible through education, it is. And my hope was that they would be game changers in their community, that people would go and they'd get an education and they'd come back to their communities and they'd tell others. And that would begin to change the direction that the community would go in, because it would be a more educated community. People would be more aware of the things and opportunities that are out there. And not knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is power.
So many of the students had dealt with challenges in their life that were things I couldn't even imagine. And yet they never felt sorry for themselves. They just wanted help to know how to get around the obstacles so that they could have a better life moving forward. So I can say to you honestly that I had no clue what courage meant or tenacity or loyalty meant until I got to work with these young people. It was just an honor.